Hello, everyone. Welcome to Success My Way Coaching. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, I am live. I had not been live in a long time, but I felt compelled to hop on here to talk about happiness, especially after everything that happened this week with the election and just anything that's happening in your personal life or in your work life that is causing you to be unhappy and feeling down. I'm coming to give you some information to one, encourage you, two, to give you some facts around your own happiness, and three, to just give you some research based strategies that you can use to be more happy. So, if you don't know me, welcome. My name is Lakeisha. Actually, it's Dr. Lakeisha, your life coach and destiny cheer captain. And I have been coaching leaders and people in their lives for over 10 years. It is something that I love to do. And so, hopefully, at the end of this live, I'm going to share with you some upcoming things that are coming. So, hopefully, I get to meet you. You get to experience one of my workshops or some of my services. And I even have a party to invite you to. So, I have all of this. So, just sit back and relax. And if you are with me and just driving or watching from your errands. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much. Please don't write. I want you to stay safe. But if you're sitting down and you're relaxed and you just happen upon this video, make sure you say hello in the comments. I'd love to talk to you. All right, so let's get into it. So the first thing I want to say is that your happiness is paramount. As a life coach, it is my duty, it is my job to analyze and help you keep and sustain and manage your happiness. So that is my job. So hopefully today I can give you an understanding of why your happiness is paramount. If nobody has told you today, I am going to tell you today that your happiness is just as important as everybody else's. Your happiness is just as important as everybody else's. So a lot of times we are, especially as women, we are socialized into doing things. We're socialized into making sure everybody's taken care of. We're socialized into thinking it's selfish to think about ourselves, but I come to debunk that. I come to debunk that about your happiness. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Happy Friday. So glad you could join me. I hope everything is going well with you, Michelle. As you can see, I haven't been on here a long time, so I am uber excited to be joining you today. And hopefully, I won't be long. I'm trying to keep this down to 30 minutes, so let's see what happens. So, I just want to get started. I'm going to start with the definition of happiness so everybody can be clear what it is. Two, I want to talk about some research findings behind happiness. Three, I want to talk about the World Happiness Report. So, y'all, there is a World Happiness Report. I don't know if y'all know, but I put it in the description. It's about 150 some pages. If you like reading stuff like that, go ahead and read it. So I put it in the description so you can read it. But I do have a couple things from that report that I wanted to highlight. And lastly, we're going to talk about really quickly the happiness actions, or the actions for happiness, which spell out the acronym GREAT DREAM. GREAT DREAM spells out the actions for happiness. So we're going to have a good time. We're going to talk about a lot. If you have access to a pen and paper, you might want to keep that, or just press replay on this later on. Yes, all is well and excited for this topic. Thanks, Michelle. All right, so let's keep going. Let's start with what happiness is. So, happiness is a positive emotion in regards to pleasurable actions we take on a daily basis. And you'll see me read it from my notes here. So, happiness is a positive emotion. And what is a positive emotion? Examples of positive emotions are like pleasure, comfort, gratitude, hope, inspiration. All of these are positive emotions that are connected to pleasurable activities that ensue your happiness. It causes you to be happy. And so that's why we're talking about the 10 keys or the 10 happy actions that you need to take, because happiness is actions. Happiness is activity. A lot of people don't think that. They just think it's emotion. No, 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 no. Happiness is emotion in connection with your activity. Okay, so that is what happiness is. And I want to talk about some research behind what they say about happiness. Okay, so back in the 1800s, therapists and psychologists, they would focus on a lot of negative stuff, on like anxiety and depression and things like that. But back in the 1800s, they just started to begin to focus on the opposite of those things, like what actually makes people happy. So um, fast forward all the way to like the 80s, where the science of happiness was born. A man named Martin Seligman, he's a psychologist, started to explore this, started to popularize it. The University of Berkeley is a leading university in studying happiness. So this is where all this information is coming from, y'all. Not coming from me, it's coming from them. So these are some these are some things that studies have found about happiness. Okay, you ready? You ready? Okay. Um, the first thing is that money money can buy you happiness. So a lot of you are like, money can't buy you happiness. It can. Money can buy you happiness, but only to a certain point. There's a ceiling to money happiness, y'all. Surprise. And actually, research has found that if you make $75,000 a year or more, $75,000 a year or more, then the money has no effect on your happiness. But if you make under $75,000, if you make under $75,000, then happiness has it does make you happy to have money. And the reason why is because you are in survival mode if you're under 75,000, especially in the United States. If you're under $75,000, you're in survival mode and it's causing you unhappiness, uneasiness, unsettledness in your daily life. But 75,000, once you hit the 75,000, you're making that much a year, it's covering stuff. It's covering your insurance, it's covering your transportation. So then after your basic needs are met, like the money really doesn't make you happy. So people say, if I had $1 million, I'd be happy. Not really. There are a lot of millionaires that are not happy because after $75,000, the money just does not make you happy. Okay. And that's what the research has found. Another thing about happiness is that most happiness is not genetic. Most happiness does not come from your genetics. Just a little bit of your happiness comes from what you was passed down from generation to generation. But actually, most of your happiness comes from your daily life experience. That's right. All of your happiness, or at least most of your happiness, comes from how you just live day to day. What do you do? How are you spending your time? Are you spending a lot of your time in your gifting, in a thing that you like doing, or are you still spending a lot of time doing something you don't want to do, or you feel like you shouldn't be doing? Okay, so your happiness, actually, most of it comes from how you live. So when we talk about the actions for happiness in a minute, it's going to talk about living well. Okay. Um, the next thing that research has found about happiness is that trying too hard to make yourself happy actually can have a negative effect. You know, people are, I just want to be happy. I want to be happy, 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 happy. But actually, what it does is it leads to being overly selfish, and that leads to unhappiness. So you got to be careful. Like I hear a lot of people saying, you know, self care, self love, self care, self love. But if you're doing it so much to the point where you're isolated from the things that make you happy, then it's counterproductive. It's self care, self love. It's actually giving you negative experiences and not positive ones. So if you're overly trying to make sure you're I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy, it will lead to anxiety, it will lead to selfishness, and you won't feel good doing it. Um, Another thing about happiness they found in research is that um, pursuing happiness through social means is the best way. Like one of the best ways that you can pursue happiness, excuse me, I should have got me something to drink. But happiness is through time with your family and your friends. Y'all, it's that simple. The more time you spend with your family, the more time you spend with your friends, that is the most effective way to be happy. Okay. So you have to keep that in mind. Spend time with your family, spend time with your friends, spend time with your loved ones, for people who care about you, people who know you, people who appreciate you. Spending time with other people makes you happy. Um, Here it says, in the pursuit of happiness, smart goals don't matter. Yes, I know, because I am a smart goal proponent, but they're saying when it comes to happiness, having vague goals are good. Like, I just want to go get some ice cream. You don't have to put a date and all that and time bound and all that. Excuse me. So you want to have goals, but they don't need to be like, anal goals. Another thing that research has said about happiness is that it leads to career success. It leads to career success. They have found that at jobs, the people who do the best at jobs are the people who are the most happy. And the most happy people do the best at jobs. So happiness is correlated to career success. And then lastly, the last point I want to share with you that I read about research on happiness is that there is a strong linear relationship between religious involvement and happiness. Okay, so what they're saying is linear, is like straight down. So they found that people who attend church or attend their worship services have a bigger commitment to faith. And because they have a bigger commitment to faith, it correlates to greater compassion for other people. And when you have compassion for other people, that means you are giving emotional support to other people. And when you give emotional support to other people, that makes you happy. Isn't that exciting? So, the more you attend and fellowship with people of faith, the more you become faithful, the more compassionate and compelled you are to help others. And when you help others, that is the key to being happy. So that is what the research is saying. Comment if you're here. Let me know what you think about that. I also want to tell you the benefits of being happy. Now, there are strong benefits. Thank you, Michelle. There are strong benefits to being happy, y'all. And a lot of them are physical. I was surprised when I read this. There's a lot of physical benefits for being happy. So if you are an unhappy person, sometimes you can tell an unhappy person because they're sickly. They're sickly. Being sickly, it could be a sign that somebody is not operating at their highest self. Okay. So it says here, happy people have a lower heart rate and lower blood pressure. Okay. So if you see somebody with high blood pressure, see what's going on in their lives. There's probably some strenuous stress, some things that are preventing them from moving, from just getting out of a funk. And high blood pressure just keeps rising and rising. And if you're already sick, of course, blood pressure is going to be affected. But in general, and then these things are in general, Rob. These are in general, these things I'm about to tell you. Hi, Sandy. I truly believe that. Absolutely. Absolutely. I do too, Sandy. Happy people are less likely to get sick. They're less likely to get sick. Happy people have greater protection against stress. They have greater protection against stress, and they release less cortisol. Okay, cortisol is like that hormone that gives you the belly and makes you feel icky. But happy people don't release as much cortisol as other people. Happy people have fewer aches and pains, they have fewer dizziness, they have fewer muscle strain, heartburn. Happy people are more protected against disease and disability in general, y'all. I'm saying in general because there are always like some things against this rule, right? This is saying in general. I want to keep that in mind. Happy people live longer. Happy people live longer. If you see somebody that's 100 years old, just talk to them. You gonna tell they happy. So happy people living to 100. Happy people live longer. Happy people have their immune system boosted. They have boosted immune system. That's why they don't get sick often. Happiness is contagious. When happy people hang around other happy people, they get happy and the other people get happy. So happiness is contagious. So you can be a light. You can walk into a room and actually light the room up with happiness because happiness is contagious. Okay. Um, did y'all know that smelling floral scents makes you happy? Yes, and my friend Michelle, she's on here. She loves flowers. But I don't know, Michelle, do you smell flowers often? Do you like floral scents? I love the scent of rose. I like rose scents. But there's so many different floral scents. Even just smelling flowers themselves, like people who keep real flowers in their house and you're smelling the flowers and stuff. It really is that aromatherapy that sends something to your brain that makes you happy. I don't know if you said this, but when I'm happy, I release that to others. Absolutely. Happiness is contagious. Happiness is contagious. When you're happy, you actually put your happiness on other people and then they get happy. And then the happiness just keeps going. Relationships again make you more happy than money. Y'all, money is not big with happiness. I'm sorry to say, once you make over $75,000 a year, your happiness is not predicated on money. It's not. And that's what we've been sold. That's what we've been told. So we have to reevaluate our happiness. Happiness is not contingent on how much money you make. There are millions and millions of rich people, big $1 million people who are just unhappy because money, it just doesn't matter. You can have all the Ferraris, you can have the multiple houses, you can have all the things in the stock market. That stuff doesn't make you happy like other things, like religious involvement or like relationships with your family and friends. Those things are really big when it comes to happiness. Okay. Michelle says, I love floral scents, actual florals in the scents, in the candles. Yes, I love the candle scents too, Michelle. Sandy says, say that. I know that's right, Sandy. Um, Wearing bright colors. Y'all, did y'all know that wearing bright colors makes you more happy? Some of y'all need to change your wardrobe. Y'all got too much black. I know I love pink. As you can see, this is my room. I love pink. I love everything that's happy, happy, happy. Even when I wear black, I had to stick some pearls and pink on. I love to wear the colors and to be like, why are you always happy? Well, look what colors I'm wearing. you know. Um, Being outdoors, especially near water, makes you happy. So this is the best time of year, y'all. It's fall. It's beautiful. It's like 60 degrees here. The leaves are falling. Go for a walk. Just go outside and start walking. If you're near water, just go look at the water. Just go look at it. All of these things, the nature, like the earth is alive, y'all. The earth is alive. They said when the ozone layer gets really messed up, and then we peel back on whatever messed up the ozone layer. So a long time ago, we had refrigerators that had some type of freon or something in it that was messing with the ozone layer really, really bad. They took all these refrigerators, buried them somewhere in the middle of the earth, took the refrigerators out the atmosphere, and they said 20 years later, the earth was healed from that ozone disaster. So the earth heals itself. What makes you think even more the earth won't heal you? Okay. The earth is healing. Okay. This is how God made everything. We're connected. So go outside, look at the trees, walk on the ground, take your shoes off, walk in the grass. All of these things make you happy. Um, Michelle says, so true. There are so many people that keep trying to make more money and that are not happy. Absolutely. And studies have shown that it's more to happiness than just money. Um, they did say that the holiday blues are very real. So, y'all, during the holidays, you start thinking about loved ones that passed away. You start thinking about those loved ones that are not around. Maybe they live far, they're in the military. You start to feel grief and blues. Maybe you want to do something for holidays, but you can't. Maybe you want to go visit people, but you can't. So, the holiday blues are very, very real. But happy people do these actions to ward it off. But actually, more women have holiday blues than men. They say 44% of women have holiday blues and 31% of men have holiday blues. So that's very, very real. So these are some other things besides in the research that says that happiness is paramount. Your happiness is so important. So you really have to pay attention to your happiness. You really have to just have a laser-like focus on your happiness, but not too much of a focus where it causes you to be unhappy. You can focus on happiness too much. Don't focus on happiness too much. Focus on happiness enough so you can feel satisfied with your life. So you can feel satisfied with your life. All right, y'all with me? Another point of research I want to tell you is about the World Happiness Report. So I put this report in the description, y'all. The World Happiness Report talks about globally how happiness is happening. And I put the 2024 one in my description. So make sure you check it out. It's 150 something pages. If you like to read, that's great. You can skim it like I skimmed it. I didn't read all the pages. But I did pull out some things. So one thing that they're finding globally is there is a big difference between old people and young people and happiness. Okay. In a lot of countries, older people are more happier than the young people. But in the United States, actually, it's flipped. The young people are getting sad in the United States. The young people are unhappy in the United States. So we have to be cautious that our young people are going through, and we have to really help our young people. Okay. So in the United States, our young people are less happy than young people in other parts of the world. Okay. Another thing that I found in this global report is a list. So they had a list ranking the most happy, the least happy, and those in the middle. It was like maybe like 143. Yeah, it was like 143 countries that they had in the list, and then they ranked them. So if you want to know where the United States is, the United States ranks 23 out of 143, which is pretty good. The United States ranks 23 out of 143. It's not the top, but it's definitely not bottom. So that's where the United States is. But I'm just going to list off the top 10 happy countries in the world, just so you can know. I think it's fun. The number one, well, I'll start with number 10, then I'll put down number one. The 10th happiest country in the world is Australia. The ninth is Switzerland. The eighth is Luxembourg. The seventh is Norway. The sixth is the Netherlands. The fifth is Israel. The fourth is Sweden. The third is Iceland. The second is Denmark. And the number one happy place in the world is Finland. Now I studied Finland because I was like, if Finland is the number one happy place, I want to study Finland. And what I found about Finland is that the government really supports family. Remember, family and friends is really, that is what makes you happy. In Finland, the government makes sure though, when a woman is having a baby, for example, that she's well taken care of. The government lets her take off work. The government gives her a stipend. The government gives her diapers and makes sure she's taken care of. So everybody has a strong family union in Finland and is supported by government. So that's just like one example of why Finland is a great place for happiness. Okay, so that was just some fun facts. All right, let's get to the nitty gritty and talk about what are some things, some actions you can take to be more happy. All right, so here's some tangible stuff that you can do to be happy. So I found this website, y'all. The website is called actionsforhappiness.com. Actionsforhappiness.com. Go to that site and you'll see they have 10 actions for happiness. That's the name of this video. 10 actions for happiness. And they call them 10 keys to happiness. And actually, they have a calendar. I use the calendar. I share the calendar in my Facebook group. So if you're not in my Facebook group, please join. It's called Success My Way Coaching with Lakeisha. It's on Facebook, and you can just join the group. And I put this happiness calendar there. Also, you can go to the website and type in your email. They'll send you every day the happiness actions. So I thought it was so much fun. And the 10 happiness actions spell out great dream. That's how you remember the actions. It's an acronym, great dreams. So I'm going to tell you about these actions in that order. Great dreams. Okay. So what dream without the S? Okay, let's start with great. So here are the 10 actions for happiness. Number one is giving. G for great. Giving. Now, not just giving like money. It's giving to others. It's being emotionally available to others. It's giving your time. It's giving your wisdom. It's giving your prayers. So it's more than just giving money. Giving money is great too, but giving is so important to your happiness to come outside of yourself to help someone else. Okay, so that's what that giving means. So that's one. The second one is in the acronym GREAT is the R, which is relating. So when, and I talked about this before, when you are in contact and in connection with people who love you and you love them, it really makes you happy. That's why Thanksgiving is a lot of people's favorite holiday. And I know people say their favorite holiday is Thanksgiving because of the food. I know, but actually maybe it's because you get to be around people who love you and people you love, and you get those hugs from grandma, and you hear the people laughing. Like, that's what Thanksgiving is. So I'm thinking the relationships really make people like Thanksgiving. Um, the next word in the acronym GREAT is the next letter is E, which is exercising. Yes, exercising, moving, getting out, walking, um, just moving your body. Like, I move all the time, and I don't really like go to the gym to exercise, but I'm always on my feet. I'm walking, I'm decorating, I'm cleaning, I'm running up and down the steps. I keep my body like that natural movement. And studies have shown that that natural movement makes you happy. They said not really going to the gym and like lifting weights like this. That's not what brings you happiness. What brings you happiness is like gardening, like getting on your knees and gardening, like that natural movement is really powerful. And then unplugging from social media, unplugging from television, cutting your phone off, and just going into that off the grid mode, that makes you happy as well. So exercising and unplugging, y'all, it's great. Um, Sandy says, yes, I'll share that hubby and I both experienced baby loss. Oh, I'm so sorry. And more sadly, this son passed on Christmas Day. So from our dating days, I make sure he's in the right state of mind. Yes, Thanksgiving. Yes. Oh, first of all, Sandy, my love going out to your family during the holidays. I know that is really, really hard, and you can't escape the blues when something like that happens on such a significant day. And I love that you all are supporting each other. The best thing you can do, Sandy, for you and your hubby to be happy is to connect with one another on a very intimate level around your feelings, acknowledge them, and then celebrate that your baby was here. Your baby was here. Your baby was a living soul, someone that you can name by name. Yeah, just sitting in that with one another is the most powerful thing you can do. And it could just be between you and your husband that you have an agreement around this time, or a way to acknowledge this pain or whatever. So I appreciate you, Sandy, for the courage of sharing that. And yeah, so that's just a great example of what people go through during the holidays. The holidays are fun. You see Christmas, you hear the songs, but you have people like Sandy, who every holiday is a reminder of something significant that happened in their lives. So we just have to, that giving part, give to people, call people, check on people, just bring happiness to people. That's why I do these YouTube videos. I was like, Keisha, why you always on YouTube? Why you do YouTube? Because I know YouTube, when people come on YouTube, they want to be entertained. They want to be happy. They don't want to be sitting there. They want to be happy. So I'm bringing the happy. Okay. I'm bringing the happy. Thank you, hon. Oh, you're welcome. Yes. Michelle says she's sorry for your loss as well. Yes. Oh, absolutely. Um, Awareness. So we see the GREA, awareness. So awareness is just being present. The past is gone, the future not here yet. Y'all just be present in right now, right now. Like, I'm present with you right now. I'm not looking at TV, I'm not on my phone. I'm looking at you. I'm looking at you right now. So be present, be in the moment, pay attention to what you're doing, how you're doing it in the moment. Stay in the moment. And that's awareness and that's mindfulness. And that actually causes you to be happy. Once you start going down a rabbit hole of it could be this, it could be that, and what if this, what if that? Now you make yourself unhappy. Yeah, you just make yourself. Don't what if yourself to death. People say, "Well, what if this happened? Well, what if this happened?" Why are you doing that to yourself? That's torture. That's like self torture. Don't do that. Don't what if yourself to death. Just live in a moment. What is happening right here, right now, in this moment? Who am I looking at? Who am I listening to? What do I hear? What do I taste? What am I touching? Your five senses help you with your awareness and what you're doing right now. Okay. Um, the T is trying new things. I like this one, as you can tell. So the T in great is trying new things. This is another action of happiness that you can do. Do something new. Do something you never did before. It's so much fun. It's like adventurous, even if it's like going to a store that you've never been to before. That's adventurous. Oh, look, and I got some celebratory stuff. This never happens when I want it to happen. It just happens haphazardly. But anyway, trying new things. And I guess Zoom likes new things too. So that is great. Giving, relating, exercising awareness, and trying new things. Let's go to dream, great dream. Okay, here are the other five. Let's start with D. D is direction. D is direction. What are your goals? Y'all, I'm a life coach. I'm always going to be a big proponent of goals. And here, research says that people with goals are more happy. So have some goals, have some things you aspire to, have some things you're trying to attain. The R is resilience. The R is resilience. Resilience is a huge word that a lot of people use, but actually, resilience is simply bounce back. Happy people bounce back way faster than anybody else. Happy people are sad one day, happy the next. You almost question whether they were sad. He was like, you were faking the other day. You weren't sad. Yes, the happy person was extremely sad, but their bounce back game is tight. Okay. So happy people bounce back. The happy people have resilience. Okay. So make sure you have resilience. The next thing is emotions. Emotions. Look for what's good, y'all. We have to manage our emotions. We don't torture yourself by sitting in negative emotions on purpose. Make sure you're practicing things to give yourself positive emotions. Okay. So, emotions, handling your emotions, recognizing that when you wake up, you're going to be intentional about having positive emotions. That's the E in dream. The A is acceptance. Acceptance. Just accepting yourself for who you are. Being accepted. I actually bought a book that changed my life that I wanted to share with you. This book is called Fierce Self-Compassion. And it says how women can harness kindness to speak up, claim power, and thrive by Christine Neff. First of all, I met her. She's amazing. I love this lady so much. But fierce self-compassion, y'all, is you accepting who you are and having compassion like you would for a best friend, but for yourself. A lot of times we're critical of ourselves. But if I ask you, what would you tell a best friend? It will be totally different than what you tell yourself. That's how you know you need self-compassion practice. Okay. Let me tell you something. I was not taught this. Nobody taught me self-compassion. When I learned this concept, it was new. It was an awakening for me to understand what does it mean to be compassionate and accept myself. So y'all, get this book if you haven't gotten it. This book changed my life. Baby, Sandy, I love your emotions in the chat. And then the M in dream is meaning. Be a part of something bigger than yourself. A lot of times we were like, I want to do this and I want to do this and I wish and we're like, Y'all, what about others? Like Michael Jackson said, what about sunrise? Whatever he was saying, sing. I love that song. what about us? And it's really the earth talking to us. The earth is saying, what about us? What about everything? What about us? Right? So be a part of something bigger than yourself. Okay. It's good to look at the man in the mirror, but it's also good to help others, to help the earth, to help people in need. cr- Meaning is a requirement. Meaning is a requirement in your life. How are you inserting meaning in your life? What's meaningful to you? What makes you feel like you are making a significant change in the world? What is that? And are you doing it right now? Are you doing it? Okay. So that is great dream. Giving, relating, exercising, awareness, trying out new things. Great. Direction, resilience, emotion, acceptance, and meaning. Dream, great dream. Those are the 10 actions of happiness. The last thing I want to say is this there are a few other things that you can do. You can practice gratitude. Gratitude sounds so cliche now, but y'all, gratitude works. All you got to do is wake up in the morning and say three things you're grateful for every time before you get out the bed, and it's going to make a difference. I promise you. Being kind to others and being kind to one another. Stop being so cantankerous all the time. Be nice to people. Purchase somebody coffee and while they in the Dunkin' Donuts line, say, I want to pay for the person behind me. Those little teeny things that you can do to be kind make a big difference. Think optimistically. Stop thinking that tomorrow the world is going to end. Think optimistically. Not really. No. Um, Build relationships, set your goals, practice self-compassion, engage in positive activity, and be more extroverted. That's what they said. People who act extrovertedly, go be around family and friends, are happier in the end. So being an introvert is great, but acting like an extrovert is good for your well-being and for your happiness. I want to close by just sharing with you a couple of services that I do and a couple of books. So I shared with you all this one. Here's another great book that I read called The Blue Zones of Happiness. This is about the happiness around the world and what does happiness mean around the world. And they have 9 actual principles. And I love these 9 principles because one of the principles is drinking wine. Drinking wine, at least 1 glass a day, keeps the blues away. But they say don't drink all a week's worth of wine in one day. That doesn't work. But you have to drink a little bit every day. I like that one. They said the plant slant. This book right here talks about eating more plants. Eating more plants than meat make you happy. And another example, and the last one is purpose. Making sure that you are clear on what your purpose is. When you're clear on what your purpose is, can't nobody mess with your happiness because your happiness is beyond the things and the situations that you're in. So purpose. Speaking of purpose, so another author that I really love that talks about purpose and other things is Martin Seligman. He is the psychologist that came up with the Science of Happiness. He has 3 books. He has this one called Authentic Happiness. He has this one called Flourish. And this is my favorite one, Learned Optimism. Okay. How to change your mind and your life. So these are his 3 books. And when I say all 3 of them are good, you can't go wrong. Even if you just get one of Martin Seligman's book, it is going to open your eyes to what true happiness looks like, feels like, sound like. Okay, y'all. And then anything that you can read religious that increases your faith. I love Joyce Myers. I love this book. This book also comes with a workbook. It's called Living a Life You Love. Living a Life You Love. This is a really good book, and it comes with the workbook, y'all. So these are some resources. And remember, I have the Global Happiness Report in the description. You can read that as well. Now, I want to share with you my services. So I am a leadership and life coach. I help you in leadership and in life move towards your destiny, right? So I have services. I life coach one-on-one, I life coach in groups, and I do something called 2-hour personal experiences where I help you for 2 hours learn and do a thing, like learn a business or learn how to write a book or anything you want for 2 hours. It's just me and you for 2 hours over Zoom. So that's what I do. I do one-on-one coaching over Zoom, and I do group coaching over Zoom, and I do free That's right. I said free. Free monthly workshops every month. So this month I am doing a workshop. It is called How to Create a Self-Care Kit. I have not come out with the advertisement or anything yet, but look out for it this weekend. I'll put it here in the community tab on this channel. I'll put the flyer for the self-care kit workshop. Okay, so I'm going to teach you because women, we have a disposition to be more negative and more unhappy than men. That's just research. So I'm going to show you how to bring some more happiness and positive emotions in your life through a self-care kit. That's going to be free. And so that way you can taste my services and taste, how I do things. And then if you want to move on to do life coaching after that, you can. The last thing I want to share that I haven't told anybody yet is that I have a Christmas party. Actually, I've been doing it for 2 years now. This will be my third Christmas party. And it looks like I'm going to be doing it on Friday, December 6th. Friday, December 6th. Okay. It's on Zoom. We all wear ugly Christmas sweaters. There's giveaways, there's activities, it's fun. And guess what? It's safe fun, y'all. We're on Zoom. So, we're on Zoom. So come. So that will be Friday, December 6th. We'll do a Zoom or virtual ugly Christmas sweater and mug party, sort of like a Christmas jammy jam, and we'll have our Christmas mugs, and we'll have our and even if you don't have an ugly Christmas sweater, just come anyway. We don't care if you don't have no sweater on. Just come. We don't care if you don't have a mug. Just come. We just want you. We don't care what you got on or what kind of mug you got. But if you have those things, bring them, and it's all fun, all joy, all accepting. So anyone can come to that. So look out for both of those flyers coming very soon. I always get the workbooks with her books. Yes, Sandy. Yes, Joyce Myers is excellent. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. I didn't want to be on here. I want to be on here less than an hour. So I'm at time, but I want to say thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Michelle and Sandy, for just keeping me going in the chat. I so love talking to you in the chat. I'll see you in the next video. Make sure you look out for those flyers and share this video with somebody who may be unhappy, who may need some encouragement. Share, share, share. That's why I do this. I want everybody to get this information. This information is out there, but a lot of people don't have it. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. And remember, I am Dr. Lakeisha, your Destiny Chair Captain, and I'm here to push you to improve through love. All right, y'all. Talk to you later. Have a great weekend. See you next time. Bye, friends.